Hi, I'm Lizzie, and I'm here with Maddie, and how did we meet each other?
We had French class together last year.
And you've been through changes.
Yes.
So what was your most prominent one?
Probably giving up sports for theater.
Can you tell me more about that?
I played softball from the time I was like 5 or 6, and I did gymnastics off and on, and I ran cross country and track. And I had done a few experiences with theater when I was very young, and I always loved them. And as soon as I got into middle school, I would do the school shows. But once I got into community theater, it was a much larger commitment, and I just realized that's what I loved more. So I gave everything up because for multiple reasons besides that, but that was the main one.
So were people supportive of your decision?
Some people, more so now than at the time. My family, I do miss having them excited about me, going to see my softball game. But now they're excited to see me perform. So it evens out, but sometimes when I see other people playing sports that I used to, I'm always kind of nostalgic. And they supported me throughout it. It was just my friends were more kind of confused because it was a huge change in my personality, and maybe not my personality, but my hobbies, and they weren't really ready for that, I guess.
How did you deal with it?
Like with how my friends weren't really...
Yeah, just with everything.
Well, there are still times that I really do miss my sports, and, every year there's those huge signs, sign up for cross country, or softball sign-ups, and I'm always kind of just like, wow, I missed that, because the support of a team is I think different almost from a cast, just because it's very competitive, and a cast can be competitive, but not in the same way.
Yeah.
And there's advantages and disadvantages to that. But I think going through it, the hardest part was me switching my hobbies,
Like deciding?
Yeah, because you can't really do everything. And that's something that I really struggle with. Because
you feel like you can do everything and you kind of push yourself.
And I constantly am challenging myself to do more. Most people graduate with 21 credits. I'm going to graduate with 42 if I do it the right way.
Wow.
That I want. Which is ridiculous, and I know it, but I'm constantly challenging myself. And I don't know, I guess I love doing that. But it was difficult at the time because to be in something like community theater, it takes years to get to such quality, a certain point,
Yeah.
And I'm where I want to be now, but beginning, I did all these kids shows, which is great, and I think everybody has to earn their right. And go through that if you want to be, in theater. I think it's just something, it's a phase you have to go through. Because it teaches...
to start from the bottom.
Right, and it teaches you patience, and you learn from that. But it was hard because, I'd be in all these shows where I'd have 4 lines, and everybody around me was 3 to, 7 years younger than me, and it was a headache.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I didn't fit in, and there wasn't people my age around for me to talk to, and enjoy. So I was like, is this really why I gave up sports? I don't know, and it really did change kind of how I act, because I I used to be very tomboy, and I still have some of that in me, but I'm much more open now. I guess it's taught me to express my feelings better. Sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's bad. But, I don't know, it was just, it really did change who I am, I guess.
So, what do you appreciate most about the experience?
Probably the type of people that I'm with now. Because I'm somebody who obviously worries about my future a lot, and they kind of help me to relax and enjoy the moment. So I really just appreciate the people.
Right.
Sometimes, and I'm not stereotyping athletes because, you know, there's those divas in theater, and there's those people in sports that are not always polite.
Really competitive to the point
Right.
where they're mean.
Right, and you know, it's just, and there's, like the divas, there's those type of people in every hobby.
Yeah.
But most of the people I'm with, personally, are just entirely supportive. So.
Yeah. So, how do you want to be remembered?
Probably as someone who cared for others. And somebody who enjoyed what they did all the time.
Is that what you described? How you describe yourself today?
I try to be like that, my best, and that's all I can do. Hopefully, by the time, you know, I'm old and wrinkly, that people will think that of me. It's very common for me to put people before myself, because that's how I was raised and that's how everybody in my family does it. But we've all kind of realized, you know, my mom did it, my grandma did it, my aunt did it. Each one of us has had that point in our life where we realize, I kind of need to do something for me as well. And that's what theater is for me, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of following my dreams, and it's, you know, telling myself that I do have this ability. You know, it's a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah.
But why not take it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you think it's good for you?
I think it's good for me. Sometimes it's stressful, especially, you know, like I'm starting now to take dance every day, and which is normal, you know, that's a completely expected thing when you're going to go into this. And, you know, I'll have rehearsals for 3 to 4 hours a night, 5 to 6 days a week. And I'm not complaining because I love it, but it's definitely time restraining, and in that sense it becomes hard to live in the moment.
Yeah.
And live that high school life. Or it becomes difficult to participate in high school.
Yeah.
In general, like academics can really suffer.
Right.
When I go through more busier phases. But overall, if I didn't have it, I think my mental state would not be here.
Yeah.
Because I think without it, I would push myself so hard with academics that I would have nobody teaching me to have fun.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I can totally relate with the putting yourself before others. I do that a lot.
Right.
And stress is a major thing in my life with dealing all this academics and even your own life.
Right.
And still trying to push yourself.
Right.
While keeping everything in order.
I believe that life, and I've realized this since, you know, I moved school districts recently, and giving up sports for theater, and balancing academics and theater. I've realized that overall life is just about balance, and that it's really tricky to get that balance. Because with too much, you know, academics, too much of that sort of stress, it's going to be so painful for you mentally, and you're not going to have fun. But if you are having too much fun, you know, for me with theater, or for other people with sports, or for just hanging out with your friends, then you're not going to have that education that's going to drive you in life.
Exactly.
So it's really about the balance, and I think that's what high school tests people on. You know, they advertise all these clubs for us to join and all these activities for us to partake in. And yes, they're through the school, but that's, you know, it's really about the balance.
Right. I think that's very insightful, and I appreciate you coming for the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.